Hey everyone, welcome back to the Live Engineers YouTube channel. And in today's video, we are going to build one simple yet stylish calculator, which includes all the fundamental things which is required in a calculator like addition, subtraction, multiplication, clearing the input box, and division, dot and zero, all the functionalities which is required for a normal calculator. So to begin with the project, first we need to open our terminal. And after opening it, we need to create one new project. For that, the command is ng new and the project name. So we will give calculator and we will press enter. Then it will ask whether you want CSS or not. So we will say yes. And it will ask whether you want to use server side rendering. So we will say yes, of course. And then it will install all the packages and general structure which is already written, predefined. It will install all those things. Till the time it installs all the dependencies, let me tell you that in this we are going to learn about how to use event binding, handle dynamic button actions, bind the result to an input box, and at the end we will add some styling also. So at the end you will learn event binding, property binding, dynamic class binding, component driven logic, and plain and modern CSS stylings. Once all the packages are installed, let's cd to the created calculator by typing the command cd calculator. Now we are inside our app, so let's run this app by typing ng serve -o. By giving the -o, it will automatically run the system and open a new page in our Google Chrome or any browser. So now our app look like this, and this is a already predefined code, or you can say a general structure provided by Angular for the startup. Now we need to clear all this, so we will open our calculator app, and inside src we will go inside this app, and there is a app component.html. So we have to remove everything except the last line, that is outer outlet. And there is nothing, that's all about it. So now you see our live page, it is clean. So let's begin with our project. Create one new terminal by clicking here and change directly to the our project, that is cd calculator, and create one new component by typing the command ng generate component and then the component, or simply you can say nggc and component. So we will give our component name as calculator. So here our calculator component is generated, which contains 4 files: CSS, HTML, spec.tss, which is usually used for testing purpose, but we don't need it, so we can delete it also. And lastly, TS file. And you can see it is already given a predefined structure. Now that we are done with the things, let's begin with our original work. So first we will open this HTML file and we will remove everything. And we will start creating our app. We can start by creating one div with a class name of container. So we will give dot container. Inside it we will create one input field which will be type text, and at the time we will make it as disabled. And after this we will create one div again, and we can give it a class as buttons, and inside it we will put our all the button like one, or simply to make it efficient we can say button start, and suppose we are giving till the time 10 buttons, so this, and we will just format this. So here it came, so let me type it fastly. Although it is not a good approach to create like this, because as you can see we are creating same thing again and again, but for the time being we will let it be. We will change it later, we will make it efficient. So that's it about our HTML. So let's see how does our live page look. As you can see, there's nothing working because we have not used our component. So here you can see that the class is being exported, which is name of calculator component. So we will copy it and we will go in the app component.ts file, and here we will import our calculator component here, and in the imports we will give this calculator component. And also in app component.html, here we need to give this selector which is app calculator. So just copy this name and go app component html, and here paste the name. So now our code is working. Here is one input and all the buttons. Since it is looking ugly, let me give the styling first. Now that's it for the styling. This is all the styling we need. So let's head back to our live page and see how it looks. So it looks like this. At the time, you can see these all things look right, but it is not correct also because we need to style it using the Angular also. There is a part of Angular also which is involved in the styling. So open the TS file, and now we will begin with the giving life to this component. So first thing, what we need to do is we need to select one string. So we will give one in display, and we should be type of string, and at the time it should be blank. And since you see that in our HTML we are repeating this button again and again, there's a efficient approach which is like, first we need to create one array. So we will say, and we will give it name as buttons of type string of array, and the arrays includes all the buttons. Sorry, not this, all the buttons. So let me give the buttons here. And this is all the button which we need. Now that we have got all the buttons here, let's use it in our HTML. So instead of this many buttons, remove all the button and keep one, and inside this button, say we will use one ng directory which is star ng4, and we will say let button of buttons. So this button comes from the TS file which is this array. Okay, here we set like that, and next here we need to give our button, that is pt. So let's see how it looks. It's not showing here because there might be some issue, so let's find it out. So why it is not working is we have used the ng4 directive, we have not imported the module for it. So here we will say import common module from Angular common, and in the import we will put this common module. So is it visible now? Yes, indeed, all the things are visible, but also we have given styling to this and it is not working. So let me check that in our HTML. Okay, all right, that's correct. So now let's add some functionalities to it. First of all, we will give some condition to it. For that, we will create one function with the name on press, and it would have one parameter of type string named button btn. Okay, so first the condition should be that if the clicked button is C, then what usually happens is it clears all the thing present in the input. So we will say this dot display is equal to blank. Okay, else if a button is equal to, then it should perform evaluation, right? But for that we need to check that whether the given input is valid or not, whether it will be performing evaluation or not. So that we will give one try catch. The try block, we will say that if the button is equal to, then this dot display, and one function which is already there in the JavaScript is eval, and inside this dot display. And in the catch, we remove this error and we simply say this dot display is equal to error. Simple message. And the last condition will be if it is neither the C neither equal to, then it should this dot display is equal to display plus button. Okay, or we can simply say plus equal to button. Okay, this thing is done. Here we are checking if the clicked button is C, then it should clear the input field. If the clicked button is equal to, then it will evaluate whatever the parameters given inside or value given inside, or else if there is nothing neither C or neither equal to, then it will perform the other operations. Now then we are performing all the behavior of the buttons. We need to get the button, so we will say get button, and also we will use the class, so we will say get button class. This should also take one parameter with the type of a string named button, and this get button class will also be type of a string. So this system here we will say that if button is equal to C, then simply return clear. Similarly, if button is equal to then return the equal class, and otherwise if button contains any type of return the return, or else if there is no condition which is true, then return blank. Okay, this is also done. Now I think we are pretty much done with our TS file also, but let's go to the page and check whether it works or not. There is nothing working because we have created the functions but we never used this. For that we need to go in our HTML, and here first let's add the event binding. Let's utilize event binding and say when we click on this, then one function should run, that is the function on press. Okay, and it should run, and since there is a parameter get button, and at the same time we will bind one property which is ng class, and we have given name as get button class. And to this also we have given one parameter as button. Now is it everything working? No, it is not working. So let's see why. So here in the input field we have disabled it, but we are not getting the value. So we will use the value should be equal to the display. Is it working now? It's 890 divided by 8 is equal to 11.125, but this color should be different as per our styling. Let's check the okay, so here we have one typo operator. So yeah, everything's working fine. So let's check the functionality of it. Let's give 9 divided by 3 is equal to 3 and clear it. Also let's give us 6 multiplied by 3 is equal to 18 plus 5 is equal to 23 minus 4 is equal to 19.3 divided by 3 is equal to this comes. Let's clear it. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video. So now I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.